So it's very likely that if you love cars, you're already looking up the Audi R8. This is a very real thing, and at Exotic Car Hacks, this is actually the most loved first hack people buy. And so today I decided to do this complete breakdown for you of the Audi R8 and how you can actually drive it free right here. You don't actually have to sign up to my webinar for free, and you don't actually have to purchase Exotic Car Hacks. But if you choose to do, there's a link at the bottom, and you can actually get a full Exotic Car Hacks membership right now for just $197. This is a unique opportunity for you to kind of understand the type of information that's available and why this car is basically available for you to drive for free. So the Audi R8 makes an incredible first hack for a couple of reasons. The car's not too low, it's not plagued with any issues, and regardless of what year or mileage you get, it's a pretty reliable car as long as you get a Gen 2 that's at least 2017 and newer. Now, the majority of these cars, 2017, 18, and 19, are just great cars. They're very easy to maneuver, and they're very easy to drive with very few issues. Outside of typical shocks going bad after the 7-year period and tires being needed, the majority of the car is pretty much bulletproof. So that's why they make really good and easy first hacks. Now, the other component to pay attention to if you've wanted an R8 is to know that the price of the R8 has been the same for the last 5 years. A 2017 V10 Plus model has held between 145 to 150K. And that's a pretty good and important point, because that means that even if you add some miles, as in you find one with 15,000 miles and sell it with 18,000 miles, it's very likely you're going to end up getting the same range of money. Now, people will say, well, what if you sell it for 5K less? I would argue 5K over 12 months of driving would be less than $400 a month. So it'd be a pretty good, exciting proposition if I told you you could drive a $200,000 R8 for just $500 a month. And this is kind of what the whole concept of car hacking is, the ability to drive incredible cars without having to worry about paying $6,000 to $7,000 a month doing it if you were to lease it when it was brand new. Now, since the cars are pretty bulletproof to begin with, they're not really notorious for having problems. However, one thing you should absolutely pay attention to if you're going to be buying a car is to ensure it has at least the carbon options. One of the things I've realized is that the V10 Plus model over the last 5 years has not moved in value, but the V10 Non-Plus model has gone up and down over $20,000. Carbon option V10 Plus has and always has held between 145 and 150K, even though they're listed for roughly 155K. Getting the best cars will be getting cars that are neutral colored or blue. The best selling colors are white, gray, and blue. So if you've ever wanted to get a car and wanted to make sure it resells well, white would be first, gray would be second, blue would be third, and this will give you a unique opportunity to be holding the right car. You can roughly put about 3,000 miles on the car, and the way this works is really simple. If you buy the car for 145 to 150, you may have a payment roughly of $1,500 a month. Now, you may say to yourself, well, I got to lose $1,500 a month, but you don't. You're basically taking about $1,500 a month, and part of that money is your interest. The rest of that money will basically go towards the equity of your car. So it'll be sitting there since the car value won't change. At the time you're getting ready to get rid of your car, minus the $400 or $500, which is what we said it would cost to drive the car, which is the interest, you'll basically have all this money you've put in your so-called savings account in your savings car, because the car itself won't lose any value. So this gives you the unique opportunity to drive the car for a good 3,000 miles without actually having to take any real losses other than the cost of interest on the loan. This is very exciting for people because it allows you to take the same money you would have put in your saving account and instead put it in a car, drive your car, enjoy it, and have a good time, and ultimately come back and get your money back out at the time of sale. Now, this has been duplicated 10 different times by, a month by Exotic Car Hacks members, and we have case studies like these, like thousands of them now, since we've been around for almost 20 years. The whole point of this is to show you that there are hundreds of vehicles that this works on in Exotic Car Hacks, and this is just an example of the most popular one. We've done similar case studies with the Urus, the G63, and just about every Ferrari and Lamborghini you can think of. So this works on Aston Martins. It also works on BMWs, the correct BMWs, the correct Mercedes cars. So you don't have to even have a $1,500 payment if you really want to use this strategy to get into like a Mercedes, an SUV, or even like a performance sedan. Whatever it is, exotics can start as little as $300, but you need to change the way you look at cars from being an expenditure into a cost of ownership that gets reinvested in the car and then pulled back out. This is what we teach at Exotic Car Hacks. It's called the wealth transfer methodology, and I want to teach you more of that. This is why right now the Exotic Car Hacks course is on sale for our biggest sale of the year, Black Friday in July. it's just $197. For $197, you get to learn all the system on how to find these cars, what options to look for, how to negotiate them, and how to put yourself in a winning position no matter what car you buy. The whole goal of Exotic Car Hacks is for people to stop losing money on cars. We're all tired of it. You love cars, I love cars, and I've been able to do this for the last 20 years with hundreds of my own cars. And today I've accumulated almost a $30 million car collection doing just that. So while you're not going to get there in one day, this mindset needs to change, and your opportunity to keep your money in your wallet needs to go down. So click the link below if you're enjoying Exotic Car Hacks. Otherwise, I've just given you everything you need to drive an R8 for free.